I was gonna tell a time traveling joke, but you guys didn't like it. Mike with Iceberg Gaming here, and today I thought it would be helpful for you guys if I talked for a few minutes about the new gathering stats. I'll go over them, kind of explain what they do, and give you my opinion on which one is the best that you should prioritize if and when you can. Now, we like to think of them as three different skills: Finesse, Deafness, and Perception, but there's actually a fourth quote-unquote skill, and that basically just is how good you are at gathering. The higher your skill versus the reagent difficulty, the more likely you are to get higher quality materials. This is the rank 2 and rank 3. If you exceed the difficulty of the reagent, you are much more likely to get rank 2 and rank 3. Next up, we've got Finesse and Deafness and Perception. So Finesse I like to think of as quote-unquote crit, and it basically means if it triggers, like right now I have a 10% chance for it to trigger, I will get more of the primary reagent, which in this case would be Severite. So I have a 10% chance to get additional Severite from my Finesse. And when it triggers, it'll look like this in your chat log. Your Finesse helps you gather something extra, and then you'll get a bigger number of materials than you normally would. Like in this case, I got 10 Hauchenbloom from one node. I think the most I've ever seen is 12 from one node. Next up, we've got Deafness. This is basically your gathering speed. The more deafness you have, the faster you are going to gather. For example, right now I have 86% Finesse on my mining skill, and watch how fast I gather. That was pretty fast. And last, but certainly not least, we have Perception. I like to think of this as similar to Finesse. I think of both of these as crits on your gathering, but Perception gives you a chance to get rare materials, whereas Finesse gives you just the primary reagent that you're gathering. In this example here, you can see that Perception helped me find something extra, and in this case, it was salt deposits. In other cases, it can be like things like gems or rousings or anything like that. Now I want to give my opinion. This is just my opinion, man. It's just like my opinion, man, on which is the best. Now, obviously, skill is probably going to be the best, at least past a certain threshold, which we would have to do some math to figure out what that threshold is. But ignoring skill for the minute, we're looking at Finesse, Deafness, and Perception. In my opinion, Perception is going to be your best bet. This is going to be the most valuable, followed by Finesse second, and Deafness will be number 3. Gathering is fast and all, but gathering more stuff is better. More stuff, more better. And next up, we can look at some ways to increase our skills. Starting things off with the skill one. Obviously, this is our level of mining and or herbalism combined with any equipment we have, plus any specializations we have. But ignoring skill, once again, for right now, the ways that we're going to increase our Finesse, Deafness, and Perception are, first of all, the equipment. The equipment I've got on right now is not the best, but right now I'm getting 53 Finesse, 23 Deafness, 23 Perception, 6 skill, and 62 Perception from the gear that I have. Next up, we can look at talent points. For example, mining process. Every skill point you put in mining process gives you +1 skill. Every point you put in sorting gives you +1 Finesse. And for surveying, you get +1 Perception for each. And finally, industrialization is 1 Deafness each. Now, you can look through every single one of the talents and sub-talents and see each one will give you a different skill. And the final way that we can increase our mining and herbalism gathering skills is with files. Or vials, files, I don't know, flasks, whatever. Anyways, there's 3 of them that you can craft from Dragon Isles Alchemy. They are soulbound, so if you're not an alchemist, you're going to have to get these through the work order system. And also there is the Darkmoon Firewater, which increases your deafness by 15%. This does stack with these other ones, so if you really wanted to gather quickly, you could pop a file of deafness and then a Darkmoon Firewater, and then you would have an incredible amount of deafness. You'd probably have instant gathering. But like I said, Finesse and Perception are probably better, so you probably want to go for the file of Perception or Finesse. This video was inspired by questions I was getting during my most recent live stream, so if you're not joining me live, I think it's a great idea. You can ask me any questions. I'll do my best to answer them, and you can request videos or anything like that. I will do my best to help you out as best I can. Thank you so much. We'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching. Special thank you to my YouTube members, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you for making this channel possible.